you, Catherine. All right, I have a question for you. You want to stay healthy? Do you want to help manage your pain without the use of prescriptions? Well, you're going to have to take the advice of Dr. David Welch of Paragon Chiropractic. Thanks for being on the show today.
Yeah, thank you very much.
This is really interesting because a lot of people are trying to get away from using prescription drugs to feel better. So how do we actually go about doing this?
You know, the best thing to do is you want to control chronic inflammation.
Okay.
And that's the big problem. People are chronically inflamed. You just take an inventory of how you feel.
Okay.
You say you eat something and the nose starts to run, or you have phlegmy throats or back pain, you're not happy, things along those lines. The problem with the chronic inflammation is the inflammation creates the environment that allows pretty much every disease and disorder to take hold.
Oh, okay. So we really got to start listening to our bodies and
Absolutely.
watching out for certain things. You have a number of great things on the table, so I'm assuming that some of these things are good for us and some are bad.
That's true.
Is the bread over here bad? Please tell me it's not, because I love this.
Yeah, it is. What you want to try and do, and the simplest thing to do, people basically eat their pain.
This is true.
So that's what you're looking to do. There's a kind of a colorful term, and they call it dietary crack. And it's not that it's such a cutesy term,
right?
But we'll find that grains, refined sugars, vegetable oils, which you'll see in this basket over here, and trans fats, they create an inflammatory environment in the body.
Okay.
The reason it's called crack is that they bind with the same receptors in the brain as does crack cocaine and things along those lines. So they're highly addictive. They
are, because they taste so good and you just keep eating more and more.
That's right. You can't stop.
You can't.
And that's the addiction.
Well, let's talk about some of the things we want to do to change all of that, and simple things like changing your diet. And it's just little things here and there, not all at once, so we don't want to get overwhelmed.
Right.
But this right here looks like this is the healthy alternative.
That's correct. Basically, you want to first eliminate the things that cause inflammation, and then you eat things that bring about deflammation or anti-inflammation.
Right.
I don't particularly care for anti-inflammation so much because you need the inflammation for certain things. So things like broccoli, the various oils, olive oil, coconut oil, vegetables, turmeric, water, believe it or not, a lot of meats.
Yes, a lot of people are going away from an all-meat diet and they're becoming either vegans or vegetarians and just different lifestyles.
Well, that's correct, but even believe it or not, the meat, the saturated acids in the meat are also anti-inflammatory.
Yeah.
So when you tell somebody that eating chicken or a piece of grass-fed beef or something like that,
it sounds so good too, doesn't it?
But that it would actually be anti-inflammatory. It brings about deflammation and turns that off.
Well, let's talk about the spine, because this is, a lot of times people have the back pains and pressures, and, our feet, our back, our joints, all of that plays a part in, feeling good. And we want to get away from that pain from using prescriptions. So what do we need to do to make sure we're aligned?
Well, again, what we're basically looking to do is to handle that chronic inflammation, because the chronic inflammation, if you look at these vertebrae, like this is a healthy vertebrae, and you'll see that looks pretty good. People look at something like this, and they see it's all crusty, and they don't want to look like that. And
it's like true. I'm going to hold this and see that.
Absolutely. They want to know how that happens. And that's not from just abuse. It's from uncontrolled inflammation.
Okay.
The inflammatory fluid actually breaks down and destroys the collagen in the cartilage, the bones, the ligaments, and the tissue, and it's replaced with fibrous tissue, which in time calcifies. And that's what gives you the spurs and all the other things in the degenerative changes.
So it's all about taking those little steps to really look at the things we're eating, changing our habits, and making a difference to be a little bit healthier, because it all plays a part in the way we're standing up straight, our posture, the weight on our back that's affecting our joints and bones. So what are some basic tips, because we have about a minute, that you would give someone? Where would they even start?
What I would first do would be eliminate the grains and the sugars and things along those lines.
Clean out that refrigerator in your closet.
Basically, yeah. And it's real easy to eat deflammatory foods.
Right.
People say, well, a hamburger or something, don't eat the bun.
Don't eat the bun.
Just eat the meat.
Just eat the meat.
Avoid the French fries. Drink the water. Don't drink the soda. Oh,
my goodness, Dr. Welch, you're killing me here with all of this, because those are all the things I love. We'll have a link on our website with more information at aztv.com. Get yourself healthy and get off those prescription drugs and just feel good. We don't want to be inflamed. We want to be smooth.
Absolutely.
Nice having you on the show.
Yeah, thank you very much.
We'll be back with more here on Arizona Daily Mix.